The time for artifacts and Elestrals is right now. You didn't think I'd leave behind my man Hephaestus, did ya? Let's dive in. Yesterday we broke down our incredible 8 spirit arts and some new full arts, including full art eruption. So if you missed that one, check it out. But we're gonna be throwing down with some of Hephaestus' strongest soldiers here in this breakdown video. It is gonna be so hype, man. Artifacts are on the table now, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys pre-order Firestorm if you haven't done so yet. You can do it at shopelestrals.com. Pick up an incredible double starter deck bundle for just 25 bucks. Comes with 4 packs. And don't miss out on our amazing booster boxes, of course, as well, to get some stellar rares, our new reverse stellar rares, and everything in between, including code cards that give you free caster coins. You can get stamp promos and even more free stuff. It's gonna be awesome. Without further ado, let's talk about Hephaestus' first champion. That is gonna be Rummacoal, Champion of Hephaestus. This Rummacoal has a very, very cool effect. It's a 3 attacker with 2 defense that says when you cast this Rummacoal, you can return an artifact rune from your underworld to your hand. This Rummacoal gets +1 attack for each enchanted artifact rune on the field, both yours and your opponent's. So simply by casting an artifact, you're gonna give this thing +1 attack. So any artifact like Torch of Hestia that's giving it buff is gonna actually buff this even further and turn it into quite a powerhouse. And you have the flexibility of being able to grab an artifact from your underworld, so that way you have some opportunities to be able to get this thing juiced up and ready to rock and roll. Of course, you gotta give some love to that incredible armband on that Rummacoal, very much so resembling Hephaestus. This card is gonna be super duper cool, but I'll tell you what, the next couple cards I'm gonna reveal are way cooler. Up next, we've got Scavacoal, Champion of Hephaestus, one of my favorite design effects we've ever done. This card hits the field with 6 attack and 6 defense, 2 cost fire, and it has an insanely powerful effect. This Scavacoal in your hand can special ascend from your Fire Elestral if you have at least 2 enchanted artifact runes on your field. So if you're able to get 2 artifacts in your field and a Fire Elestral, you can special ascend it into Scavacoal. But what makes this card really unique is it also says artifacts that were empowering that Elestral start empowering this Scavacoal instead of being sent to the underworld. This is something a lot of people always seem to ask about Elestrals, is when you ascend an Elestral and they have an artifact on them, does it keep the artifact? And the answer is no. But the answer is now yes with this Scavacoal. So now you can freely ascend your Elestral into Scavacoal, and you can do so with a special ascent, so you can turbo it out, and you're not going to lose those artifacts and those spirits that were previously empowering the Elestral you ascended. I'm sure you guys could think of some spicy applications for this, but Scavacoal here is looking to do some massive damage for artifact decks in Firestorm. Now that's all good and dandy, some new artifact support, but you're probably still thinking, Dan, Hephaestus still isn't that good. But that's gonna change right now, because we are introducing one of the most powerful cards we've ever created, something that is going to jumpstart Hephaestus and his strategy to an entirely different realm, and that is his Ace Elestral, Volcaries, Champion of Hephaestus. This Volcaries sports awesome braids reminiscent of Hephaestus, his divine, and this is gonna hit the field with 4 attack and 2 defense, and helps him in the Forge create the incredible artifacts all across Elestrals. And man, oh man, this effect gets me excited. When you cast this Volcaries, you can search your deck for Hephaestus and add it to your hand. So you immediately have Hephaestus searching abilities here. So you can get your artifact consistency, you can get your divine rune consistency, you can set up for those Nexus plays. While Hephaestus is enchanted, you may also use fire spirits from your underworld to play artifact runes. You heard that right. That means that you get free artifact casts with your Volcaries. You play your Volcaries, you search out your Hephaestus, you play your Hephaestus, you disenchant from Hephaestus to search your deck for artifacts, and then you use the spirits that are in your underworld to play your artifacts, making Volcaries insane. And then you have the ability to turbo into Scavacoal and keep those same artifacts. So much potential here for artifact decks, and Volcaries is going to be an essential piece of that, enabling Hephaestus and his pure power here in Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm. Those new Elestrals are going to change how we look at artifacts forever, but any good blacksmith has a few tools in his tool belt that he needs, and we know that Hephaestus already has his hammer, but now it's time for us to break out the Anvil of Hephaestus. This new artifact rune is a 1-cost artifact that says the empowered Elestral gets +1 attack. Then it goes on to say that when an artifact rune on your field is sent to the underworld, you can enchant each spirit that was enchanting that artifact rune from your underworld to a card on your field. That is bonkers. I don't know if you guys realize what that can do, but this basically means that any of those spirits that you perhaps cast out for free with your Volcaries, or just in general, when those cards are sent to the underworld, you get to keep those spirits, and you can essentially re-enchant them to other cards in your field, which can enable receive effects. It can enable Elestrals that get powered up through the Volcanic Forge, and it has a lot of awesome implications as more protection for artifact decks. This is searchable through Hephaestus, and it's going to allow you to kind of maintain your strategy, and otherwise a game plan that's pretty cost intensive, right? Playing artifacts can be very expensive, and up until this point haven't necessarily been as useful, but being able to pair Anvil of Hephaestus alongside some of these artifacts allow you to keep the spirits free from using your underworld. You can utilize your Volcaries to do that. Keep them on the field when you ascend with your Scavacoal. Give yourself different attack buffs with your Rummacoal, and then of course maintain those spirits on the field with your Anvil if your plan does not go exactly as you envisioned. Very, very awesome stuff. And to further help our artifact decks, I'm still not done. We've got a brand new Invoke rune for Fire that is going to be so massive to help enable these decks. It is a 1-cost Invoke rune called Reforge, featuring some cute little melodies. Return an artifact rune from your underworld to your hand. Return spirits equal to that artifact rune's enchantment cost from your underworld to your spirit deck. This means that you can trade your Reforge for another artifact. Very simply put, you basically play Reforge, you grab an artifact out of your underworld, add it to your hand, and then based on that enchantment cost of that artifact, you can heal spirits. Absolutely massive. So many cool tools for the Hephaestus toolbox now, being able to utilize artifact runes in a unique way, maintain spirits on board, regenerate spirits from your underworld, and get the most amount of value out of those artifacts to enable that style of play into the game, where previously it was very underpowered. I think there's a lot of really cool implications here in Firestorm for artifact decks, Hephaestus, and his brand new champions. I hope you guys are as amped up about this one as I am. I love this reveal. This is one of my favorite ones. Such a fun deck to play. Like, such a fun deck to play. My goodness. Get those pre-orders in for Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm, our best set yet. You guys can pick up a double starter deck bundle for just 25 bucks. Comes with 4 packs. Pick up a booster box, our incredible reverse stellar blister packs, and all of the amazing accessories you can grab to bling out your setup with playmats, card sleeves, plushies, and much, much more. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Stay tuned for another epic reveal tomorrow. I will see you then.